Now, children, Antonio had asked Sebastian if Sebastian accepted the fact that Ferdinand was dead, then, according to Sebastian, who would be the next heir to the throne of Naples? And Sebastian quite matter-of-factly says Claribel. Claribel, who is the daughter of King Alonso. So Antonio, almost immediately seems to rubbish his claims by saying, she that is Queen of Tunis, she that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life, she that from Naples can have no note unless sun were her post. The man in the moon's too slow, till newborn chin be rough and razorable. So Antonio seems to, mock at the idea of Sebastian calling Claribel to be the next heir to the throne of Naples. He says, which Claribel is he talking about? Is it the same Claribel who is the Queen of Tunis? Who dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life. Now here in this entire speech, he is in a way trying to convey that after marriage, Claribel had gone so far away from Naples that she could not be considered as an heir to Alonso, because he says that she dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life. Now here he is in a way trying to mock. He is using a hyperbole here by saying that Claribel dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life. That is, she stays so far away that, human dwelling or human habitation ends. And where human habitation ends in the world, she stays even 10 leagues beyond that limit. All right, the limit where human habitation ends in this world, she stays so far away that she lives even 10 leagues beyond the last limit of human habitation. And he says that, is he talking about the same Claribel who from Naples can have no note? Note here refers to news, message. The same Claribel who stays 10 leagues beyond man's habitation, where from Naples she cannot possibly receive any news. Any message from Naples cannot reach Claribel in Tunis. And how far she is from Tunis, from Naples, he tries to say by making this comparison, by making this, using this metaphor here. He says, unless sun were her post, that is, unless sun acts as her post. Post means messenger. So unless sun acts as her messenger, there would be no way in which the news could reach from Naples to Tunis. Now, the sun takes the entire, evolution, only sun can move so fast and carry her message from Naples to Tunis. The man in the moon too slow. Now, children, this is again another popular superstition that is being talked about here. Now, science describes the black patches on the moon now, but initially it was believed that inside the moon there lived a man with a lantern and a dog and a bush behind him, because the dark spots that were there, it gave the sort of a the lines could be seen, and those dark lines seemed to be the shadow of a man inside the moon who had a dog and a lantern in his hand and a bush behind him. So again, using a hyperbole, he says that if that man who dwells in the moon, if that man in the moon is her messenger, then it will take so much time for the news from Naples to reach Tunis that a newborn's chin will be rough and razorable. That is, a child who is just born, has a baby chin. He will grow up to be a young adult or a youth who has grown beard. His cheek will now be rough because of the growing beard, and it would be razorable. That is, he would be, shaving off his beard. So it'll again, using a hyperbole, he is trying to show how much time will it take for the news from Naples to reach Tunis. That is, a newborn baby who is born, who has a baby chin, will grow up to be a youth having a beard which is razorable. That is, he will need to shave his beard. He will grow so old. So many years the news will take from to reach from Naples to Tunis. She from whom we all were sea swallowed. Now she, because of whom, now that same Claribel, because of whom they all were sea swallowed, that is, almost swallowed up by the sea. Now the ship met with a wreck, and as a result, almost all of them were sea swallowed, that is, swallowed by the sea, because obviously they do not know that it is all done by magic of Prospero, and every one of them has survived. All the other ships were safe. They were on their way back to Naples, and even the others whom they presumed to be dead and drowned were all alive, safe. So obviously they don't know this, so they feel that it is Claribel who is responsible for this shipwreck, for the deaths of all these people, because it was while returning from her wedding that the ship met with this tempest and met with a wreck, and they all were sea swallowed because of her. Though some cast again, and by that destiny to perform an act, whereof what's past is prologue, what to come is yours and my discharge. Now, children, this is an important speech. Here, he is in a way trying to tell Antonio whatever has happened for a purpose. He says that all of them were sea swallowed, but there were only a handful of them who were cast again, that is, who were thrown back to the shore, who were saved even after this terrible shipwreck. So there were only a handful who were saved by fate. And why did the fate save these people? Why? Because fate had some important task that the fate wished to perform through them. The task that the fate wished these people to be the agent of. Now, what he means to say is that the stroke of destiny has decreed them to perform an act in comparison to which the past act was a mere prologue, an introduction. Now again, children, this is a metaphor. Alright, like the story has a prologue and introduction, then there is a climax that comes. Alright, so this prologue is written. The climax part they are to write. Destiny has chosen them to write the climax of this particular act. So he says, now what is prologue? What is introduction? Now why would, he says, just think, why would Claribel be destined to get married so far away? Her father could have married her to a European prince. But why destiny chose to get Claribel married to such a far off place as Tunis? Then while returning, they met with a shipwreck. All of them died. Only a handful of them were fortunate to get saved. And why were they saved? Now, why were they saved? They were saved by destiny to accomplish or to perform a particular act. Destiny wanted them to be the agents of performing a particular task. And all these past events, Claribel's marriage, Tempest, all dying and they surviving. This was all an introduction. Why? Because the climax, the destiny had put into the hands of Sebastian and Antonio to write. So he says, whereof all the past events were prologue. What's to come is in your and my discharge. So what is to come means the coming events destiny has put in the discharge, in the command of Antonio and Sebastian. Now fate has chosen them to remain alive, and now they are expected to perform an act to which all that has happened before was merely like an opening piece of drama. And now it is in their power, Sebastian and Antonio's power, to perform and to write the climax of this particular act. Now Sebastian says, what stuff is this? That is what nonsense, what rubbish are you saying? What say you? That is, what do you mean by saying this? It's true, my brother's daughter, Queen of Tunis. So is she heir of Naples. Twixt which region there is some space. Now he says, what nonsense are you talking? It is true that his brother's daughter is now the Queen of Tunis, but she is the heir of Naples also. Agreed that there is some considerable distance between the two places, Naples and Milan. But that does not mean that she is no longer the heir to the throne of Naples.